Give us a donation or buy a ticket, and we'll make sure that somebody's there. But we do appreciate your support, and we believe that this is going to be a great time of fellowship in the Lord. Amen. Amen. So I think that we got all that covered. Let's go to the book of First Kings. First Kings, the 18th chapter. First Kings 18, when you have it, signify to me by standing on your feet as the word of God. Amen. So First Kings 18, beginning at the 41st verse. Let's read it, and it says it like this. What does it say? Get thee up, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees, and he said to his servant, Go up now, look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, There is nothing. And he said, Go again 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, Behold, there ariseth a little cloud out of the sea, like a man's hand. And he said, Go up, say unto Ahab, Prepare thy chariot and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain, and Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the hand of the Lord was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. I'm going to take our thought this morning from verse 41. And Elijah said unto Ahab, Get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. I want to talk to you very briefly in these few moments of sharing from the thought entitled, I Hear the Sound of Victory. High five your neighbor, tell her, I hear the sound. I hear the sound of victory. Oh, that neighbor's defeated. Talk to somebody who actually got it. And tell them, neighbor, I hear the sound of victory. But after the Lord has sent Elijah to Zarephath, it is the place in which the miracle took place with the unlimited buffet God allowed through the unending vessels of oil and meal, and also the miracle of the slain son of the widow being resurrected. But here in the opening sequence of the 18th chapter of First Kings, God has another interruption in the life of the prophet named Elijah. Now God is getting ready to bring full circle the word in which the prophet spoke 3 years prior. The anger of the Lord was kindled against Ahab because of his disobedience to his word and not being able to control his wicked wife. And so God cursed their land through the prophet Elijah, and he said, Until I say, there will not be a drop of rain to fall on the dusty shores of Samaria. Now God tells Elijah to go and show himself to King Ahab, and I will send the rain. Indefinitely as Elijah travels to Ahab, he sees Samaria in a terrible famine because there is no rain. When you have no rain, you cannot water crops. Vegetation dies. Cattle and livestock, they die because there is no sustenance. Just like right now, that we can see that some of us are in a spiritual famine. So now we find Ahab sending righteous Obadiah. Now, Obadiah in this text is not the one who authors the book of the Bible, but it is a handservant to Ahab. But Obadiah is chosen of the Lord because he takes the burden of housing the prophets that Jezebel wants to kill. He takes 100 of God's prophets and stores them between two caves so that they can live. He feeds them with bread and water. And so Obadiah, God tells him to find some grass to feed the horses and mules to at least keep them alive. And en route to find this grass, Obadiah finds the prophet Elijah. So Elijah tells him to alert Ahab that he is here and to see him. Obadiah says, like many of us would say today, now why would you send me with this bad news? Because we have to have the subtext of this. The reason why Obadiah was saying this is that Ahab was so mad with Elijah that he went to every neighboring country around Samaria. He looked for him high and low. He put out an all points bulletin on Elijah. He wanted him dead or alive. And he swore that any nation that was harboring this fugitive, that he would put out war on their head. He was so afraid, Obadiah, because if he went and told him that Elijah was here, he may have thought that he knew where he was all along. So Obadiah did not want to face the wrath of Ahab. And so here Elijah insists. He says, now you better go and tell him that I'm here. He requests and he sends him on his way. So Ahab finally sees Elijah and he asks him a question. Are you the reason for all this trouble going on in Israel? Elijah tells him, I didn't trouble Israel, I troubled you. I troubled you and I troubled your family because you were wicked and you troubled God. When you're anointed, you bother those who are on the agenda of Satan. So here, Elijah tells him, I ain't troubled you, I troubled you. I did trouble God, I troubled you in your house because you forsook the commandments of God and abandoned him for Baal. Now, here's my favorite part of the text. Elijah tells Ahab to gather the inhabitants of Israel on the 24-mile-long Mount Carmel. Get the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah, both idol gods. So Ahab obliged and did what was requested, and Elijah asked them, how long will you be halted between two opinions? Or how long will you be on the fence? That's a question we can ask today. Basically saying, I'm tired of this foolishness. We've gone through this for 3.5 years, no rain, and there are innocent people that are being hurt. That ought to sound familiar. Innocent people being held between geopolitical madness. So in this text, as you know, it has to be quiet because the Bible says that out of all of the people on the mountain, not one person said a word. But then in the 23rd verse, Elijah tells them, he says, go and get 2 bulls. Let them choose the one that they want, cut it up, put it on the wood, but put no fire under it. And he said, I'll do the same thing. Now, the first clause of this request was not odd because this was a practice that was called dressing the altar. Anytime a sacrifice had to be made, this was the protocol to do it. But the interesting part is when he said, don't put a fire under it. If you're going to make a sacrifice, it had to be burnt. In order for something to be burnt, there has to be fire. So they asked him, well, why is there no fire? Elijah said, but hear what the Lord says. He says, call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of the Lord. And let the God that sends by fire, let him be God. Because what they didn't know then, that I'm going to say now, is that God is no longer looking for fire under the altar, but he's requiring fire on the altar. Keep the fire burning. The fire that burns fat and flesh. Keep that. Where is the fire that burns up sin and unrighteousness? Where is the fire that burns up sickness and darkness? Where is the fire that burns up witchcraft and wizardry? That's the fire God is looking for today. And so Elijah challenged the people to make a definitive choice between following God or following Baal. Israel believed that they could worship both deities at the same time. Tell somebody you got to take it straight. You got to take it straight. They were guilty of a divided heart and tried to serve two masters. So then the people responded, it is well spoken, literally meaning you have proven a good cause with a valid request. And we literally have no other choice but to oblige. So here in verse 26, the showdown on Mount Carmel begins. The Bible says that the prophets of Baal dressed their altar and began pleading with their God for fire. The Bible says they called on Baal and Asherah from the morning until the noon. But then they didn't hear anything. So then they begin to dance around the altar. Oh, y'all know how church is. You don't feel nothing. Oh, we'll clap and we'll try to get something going. They begin to dance around the altar, but still nothing happened. I don't care how much you shout or dance, if there is no substance behind it, it is in vanity. And the Bible declares that afternoon, Elijah began to mock them, telling them to call him louder. Maybe their God was asleep. Maybe he's on vacation. Maybe you got to wake him up. It got so bad until Baal and Asherah's prophets began to cut themselves until blood was everywhere. See, Elijah knew that it would take blood to cover sin, but he also knew human blood wasn't strong enough for that. So they continued late into the evening, and it got to the place that Elijah said, listen, just stop what you're doing. That this is part of where we are today. We have to repair God's altar. Get all of this flesh, all of this folly, all of this foolishness off of the altar and prepare it for fire. When he dressed the altar, Lord have mercy. But after completion, he told them to prepare 4 pitchers of water and pour them on the altar. Now, it doesn't take a biochemist to know that water is the antithesis of fire. But we see in the text that Elijah had a point that he had to prove. Elijah began to pray. He didn't pray for 6 days, 6 hours. He didn't take 6 sentences. What Elijah began to say, the word says that he began to ask the Lord to prove himself before these people. Let these people know who is really God. And the Bible says that Elijah prayed one time, commanding for the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to move. The word of God says, then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt offering and the water and the wood and the stones and the dust. The first word of the statement then has us to know that the fire only falls after appropriate preparation has been made. But the scripture says that it consumed everything on the altar. And that brings us back to the reason Elijah added the water. Water is opposite of fire, both naturally and physically. Meaning the fire represented the fire of God. But the water represented sin. Sin causes us to be estrayed from God. Sin separates us from God. God was saying the fire that's coming is going to burn up everything, every sin, every ounce of flesh, and the power of the enemy. The word says that after every person fell on their face and said, the Lord, he is God. Then Elijah ordered for the prophets of Baal to be taken up and to be slaughtered. Because anytime there is a showdown with God, there has to be a death of an enemy. So with all of this background information that we've laid out, let's deal with the text. So now that Elijah has just come through victoriously, he tells King Ahab, go and get you a little snack because I hear the sound of the abundance of rain. So Elijah goes back up on Mount Carmel and sends his servant Gehazi to look at the sea. He said, I want you to go out on the water, tell me what you see. Gehazi runs down and went back up. Now I told you, this mountain is 24 miles. He sent him down, tell me what you see. I don't see anything. This happened 7 times. Some of us would have been disobedient right there. 24 miles, 7 times. Go back and tell me what you see. This happened 7 times. But here we go in the crux of the message. I have these 3 points and I'm going to let you go. Number one, never let what you see deter what you may hear.
All right.
Some of you know what the Lord has told you. You know what God has spoken to you through your pastor, through anointed vessels, through his prophets. So don't let the lack of manifestation destroy your determination for deliverance. Even though I am seeing something that is not matching what God told me, it is not my job to try to make happen what he said. It's my job to do as he said, that when you pray, believe that you shall receive and you will have it. My job is not to doubt. My job is to trust God.
Yeah.
So now that I'm not going to let what I see deter what God told me, then this is my second point in church, that this is the season for you to go back. God told me that this is the year for you to go back and try some stuff again. Some of us got mad with God because some things he promised us did not come to pass yet. But the real reason some of it didn't work was because you tried it out of season. The book of Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. But now is the time. How about somebody tell them, now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. Go back to school, apply for that job again, start the business again, begin your family, birth your ministry. Go toward that house, test drive that car. Some of you are already questioning what God has said, but I dare you to step out on faith and don't let what the enemy tells you affect what God shows you. Holy Ghost, help me here. You didn't hear it the last time, but I declare if you listen in the spirit, you'll hear it this time. That this is the season for me to go back and try it again. So ending this here particular message, Gehazi goes back and tells Elijah what he sees through the eyes of God. I see a little something. He said, I see a cloud the size of a man's hand.
Yeah.
Now look at this to scale. A man's hand in the unlimited sky. Small cloud. It's a small cloud. Those little clouds, they dissipate and they pass. Those are the clouds you go outside, you see it, you don't get your umbrella. Because it's just one small cloud. But Gehazi goes back and he tells Ahab, he said, I see this little cloud up in the sky, that's all I see. Elijah said, well, listen, that's what I've been waiting for. Go get Ahab and tell him to come on.
Yeah.
They said, you need a ride, Elijah. Elijah said, no, I'm not. I'm all right. I'm cool. He girded up his loins and ran till he outran the horse and the chariot.
Wow. And
this leads me to my last and final point. When your manifestation finally comes, you got to run like you want it. This time, when we see the manifestation, you don't have time to ask questions. You don't have time to call anybody. You don't have time to get your prayer partner on the phone. You don't have time to tweet or text about it. You got to run like you want it. For the Lord says that because he is redeeming the time and because the end of time is close, he's doing a quick work. Lord, tell somebody he's doing a quick work. And if you miss this particular move, you just missed the move. There is no rerouting. There is no way to get back on track. That's why you got to be obedient to the voice of God when you hear him the first time. In the midst of manifestation, while you're waiting on the promise to come forth, you have to learn how to pray and praise God in the process. Some of you have heard the sound of victory, and you know that God is getting ready to do something spectacular, but keep praying and praising in the process. We get to the moment of manifestation where it gets dark, it's hard. You have beat down every satanic force that there is. If it's not one thing, it's another. I'm tired of going through this. I'm not preaching for you, I'm preaching for me. But you can enjoy this. If it's not one thing, it's another. When I've gone through this situation and it feels like I've killed that Goliath, here comes his five brothers around the corner. What do I have to go through next to get to what you called me to be, God? And here is the time where God said, this is the time I need you to make me look good. It's easy to make God look good when everything is all right. When you have money in the bank and your children are doing all right and everything is cool. But when the rubber meets the road, when your back is up against the wall, when there is no more money, when there are no more connections, there are no more resources, and seemingly your pot has ran dry. The oil, the cruise of oil has drawn up, and all of your meal is gone. What do I do? Am I going to lay down and die, or am I going to stand on the word of God? This is the time when you've been going through the most hell, where I really got to give God praise. Because when the enemy thought he was going to frustrate me out of my miracle, I make you out of a lie every time. You thought I was going to curse God and die, but not so. I'm standing on his word that even though I'm going through this situation right now, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I know that I've been sick, but many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them out of them all. I know you've been having financial troubles, but the houses on the hill, they're mine. The silver and the gold, they is mine, saith the Lord. I know you've been having problems with your children, but the Bible says that children are the righteousness of God. And if you train up a child in the way that they should go, when they get old, they will not depart from it. I know you've been having problems with that husband, but the Bible declares that the conversation of a sanctified wife, that it will change the conduct of an unsaved husband. Oh, I know you've been having situations on the job. Oh, but God said that I'm getting ready to promote you anyway. Don't worry about that manager that's involved in this. I'm praying you for their position anyhow. Oh, you better come on and clap your hands like you believe. I have to learn how to keep a prayer in my mind and a praise on my lips. The hymn writer said, have a little talk with Jesus and tell him all about your thoughts. He'll hear your faintest cry and answer by and by. Here's my favorite part. You'll feel the prayer wheel turn and know the little fires burn. But just a little talk with Jesus. I don't have to talk to him long. I don't have to cry and holler. I don't have to wait on the floor, but I just got to talk to him.
Thank you, Lord.
Your greatest spiritual hour is in your darkest hour in your life. In order for oil to come forth, it has to be crushed. It has to be beaten. It has to be bruised. It has to be squeezed. And in order for you to come forth like pure gold, there is a process.
It's a process.
When making glass, when making china, when they're forming this glass, they're warming it, they take the sand and they put it in heat. And it changes its structure from this pebbly substance and it becomes cohesive. And not only that, but it becomes see-through. And after they are finished, they're molding it and they've made it what they want it to be, then they have to take it and they have to put it in fire. Now, mind you, they have to put it in fire 2 times. The first time is to get everything off of it. It's formed, but there's still some specks in it. It's formed, but there's still some little dark parts to it. And so they put it back in the fire to refine it, to make it passable, to make it usable. It comes out, it's nice and it's sparkling. And they take those glasses and they send them to Walmart and they send them to Target and they send them to those stores. But then they have a few that they keep behind. The same glasses. They take those glasses and they put them back in the fire. And that is the process that changes glass to china. So the $7 glass that you go and you drink out of on Walmart,
That's good.
and the $700 crystal goblet that you buy from Neiman Marcus, the only difference between the two is 7 seconds in the fire.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
If I can just hold on just a little while longer, if I can just make it through this last test, if you can just hold on to God's unchanging hand just a little while longer, church. I know you want to give up, but there's better coming on the other side of this. My victory is on the other side of the fire. I have to learn how to praise God in the midst of people who fought against me. And I have to learn how to praise God in front of you to let you know you might have tried it, but it won't work. The devil is trying to steal the sound of victory.
Yeah.
How does he do it? He puts things, people in your path to try to tell you, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I know you want that job, but you can just stay where you are and you can just ride that position in the company and you can just retire from right there. And you better not try that. You might lose your job. Don't apply for that position. Well, why don't you come with me? Come with me to my company. They tell you, well, I don't get that house. That house too big. Don't do that. You don't. They gonna deny you. You're gonna go and get it. They gonna deny. Don't do that. Don't get that car. Go and get your 2003. You don't need nothing new. Don't do that. To put people in your path that will try to deter you from what God said. I'm not going off of what I want. I'm going off of what God told me. And if He is the God that does over, He said that He will give you greater than what you even ask for. Then why am I going to limit myself to something that God did not want me to have in the first place? The manifestation of the sound of victory, the manifestation of the sound of victory only comes, watch this, after your praise matches the frequency of that sound.
Oh, my.
You can sit in church and act dignified and sedity if you want to. And every time the praise team comes and the choir comes and you just sit there and you hum to yourself, well, I praise God on the inside. You a lying one. I praise God. My praise is in me. That's not biblical. From Genesis to Revelation, you will never find an inside praise. There is no such thing. You can pray within yourself, but praise has to come out of your belly. Praise comes out of your mouth. Praise comes with your hands. Praise comes with your feet. And my praise has to match the size of the blessing God is getting ready to give me. So take some time to just practice that right now. Praise is prophetic because praise sees you in the place where God has called you to and not where you are. I begin to praise God, not because I'm in the apartment right now, but I'm praising Him for the house that's on the way. I'm praising Him not for the job that I have right now, but for the career that's coming later. My praise has to match the frequency of the sound that I'm hearing. I'm closing here. The last thing I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to move on. I'm reminded when Elijah is talking in verse 41, he says, I hear the sound of the abundance of rain. The anointing rides on sound. That's why if you go in the New Testament, go to the book of Acts, the second chapter and the first verse. And when the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all together in one place, and there came a sound as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled the house where they were sitting. The anointing comes in on a sound. That's why in the book of Acts, the 16th chapter, when Paul and his adjutant Silas were in a jail cell. The Bible says that they began to pray and sing praises unto God. The jail could not contain the frequency of the sound of the anointing that they were producing. The jail could not hold Paul, Silas, their praise and their God. But the Bible says that he inhabits the praises of his people. And when Paul and Silas began to pray and sing praises, the very structure of the jail had to loose them because the anointing holds them from where they were. Now, whatever situation that you're in, the enemy cannot hold you and your voice. The enemy cannot hold you and your words. That's why even in your darkest hour, even when you cry the hardest, the Lord will put a little song in your spirit. When you pour out that, you feel the presence of the Lord. You feel the anointing of God putting you in life. You feel it with walking in your body and changing from your head to your feet. The very power of God is taking you. It will always be like this. I'm coming out of this because I hear a sound. Lord, so I'll tell you this little story and I'm done. That after this, there is victory. This is the story of this grandfather that took his grandson to Paris. He took him to Paris. He stayed up his whole life. His father had died, leaving him custody of this boy. He stayed up because he always wanted to take somebody to Paris. They go and they're walking down the streets, and the little boy is attracted to this store. In this store, there is this tea cup sitting in the window. The sun is shining on it, and it's glittering. And the grandfather tries to move along, and the boy he's just asphyxiated on this cup. The grandfather goes in the store, and they look at the cup. The cup begins to talk to them. The cup said, I didn't always look like this. He said, when I first got in this place, all I was clay. I was a hard mound of dirt. And he said, the sculptor took me and he began to beat me. He beat me upon a surface. It was hard. He said, and after he beat me, then he began to mold me. He began to rub his fingers on me. Then after that, he put me in a hot oven. He began to bake me. I hollered out and I screamed. I screamed and I hollered. He said, and after he took me out of the oven, then he put this paint on me. And the smell was so bad. He began to paint me and then he left me for days. Came back to me, put me back in the oven. Then he came and put a clear coat on me, put me back in the oven. And then when he brought me out, and I said, please, I can't take it no more. Then he puts a mirror in front of me. He said, the teacup said, and when he put the mirror in front of me, I asked, who was that? The teacup said, well, who is this beautiful cup? Who is this cup that is sparkling so nice? The sculptor said, that was you. He said, what do you mean that was me? That couldn't be me. I was dirty. I was nasty. I was filthy. I was hard. He said, but after I beat you and cut you and painted you and baked you, I had to bring out of you what I saw on you the whole time. God has put you in some situations where he has had to beat you and prod you and mold you because you didn't see what he saw in you the whole time. God didn't call you a drunkard. God didn't call you a schemer and a liar. God called you a son and a daughter. He called you anointed from the womb. God called you a prophet to the nation. And what's on you ain't what's in you. God had to put something on you, and that was called his blood. He put that blood on you that you could not be unwashed, that you were no longer unholy, that you were no longer unrighteous, but he justified you. He put his power in you. All things that lied on you and criticized you and told you what you would never be with that beautiful people. Still with that hunger, and stay with the rest of the family. But sometimes God has to sanctify you out of the very people that are around you. Come on, that's why you have to come out from among them and be separate, thank the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing. But there's better on the other side of this. I find somebody that is better coming from me. Where I am is not where I will always be. I'm not always going to be sick. Trust me. I'm not always going to be broke. I'm not always going to be in this situation. I'm just better on the other side of this. I hear the sound of victory. Some of us are waiting to see what God is going to do in 2020. And on December the 8th, God is trying to do something right now. God wants to open doors for us, but we're so closed off to Him. Because God's plan may not be the plan that we want. It may not take you the route that you want to go. Because while Gehazi was walking up and down this 24-mile highway, there was a process that was going on in him. Lord, I'm getting out of the text. There was a process that was going on in Gehazi. That even after Elijah had gone, there was an anointing that was left for Gehazi. There was a prophetic anointing that was on him because of his obedience. And while you're going back and forth through problem to problem, there's an anointing that's being deposited on you right now. The reason why you had to be sick, so you can lay hands on those who are sick. The reason that you had to be bound and depressed, because there's a ministry that's got to be birthed in you for those who are bound and depressed. You don't go through for you. I'm going through for somebody else. I'm going through for somebody so I can tell them, oh, you can make it out of that. And I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you you can be delivered without delivered. I'm telling you you can be healed without healed. I'm telling you there's nothing you can do so bad the blood can't cover it. Been there and done that. You can tell me. But one day you heard a sound. One day you heard a sound in your darkest hour. You heard the voice of God calling you. You heard the voice of God calling you out of your dark, deep depression, out of your hurt and your pain, out of your frustration and aggravation. You heard God and you responded to His voice, and you're saved today because of a sound. Church, I'm telling you that if the church would go back to the altar, I know we don't like talking about this, but if the church would go back on its knees and stop trying to figure out everything logically. We don't serve a God of logic, but His thoughts are not our thoughts, and His ways are not our ways. But if we will go back down on our knees, that is where the power will come from, and that's where revival will jump off. You can call any preacher from halfway across the world if you want to. But if revival is not birthed in prayer, it will not last. Revival in itself is a sound. Many of you are saved because you heard the sound coming from the sanctified church. And God pulled you in because He fascinated you with the sound. Oh, but where is that sound today that will call our young people off of the street? Where is that sound that will call drug addicts off of the car? Where is that sound that will call prostitutes out of the whorehouse? Where is that sound that will make deaf ears open? Where is that sound that will make blinded eyes open? Where is that sound that will cause the mentally unstable to become safe? Where is that sound that disperses gifts and talents and anointing? Where is the sound that works miracles, signs, and wonders? Where is the sound where people can come in church sick and leave healed? Where is the sound where people can come to church drunk and stand, but they will walk out in their right mind and they all where is the sound where people can come to the altar and get a breakthrough? Where is the sound where people that come in the demonic spirit can be free of the power of the Holy Ghost? Where is that sound? The sound is on the altar. The sound is in the weeping in the wind. The sound is on the getting of your place. Turn your place down and seek the voice of God again. That's the sound right there. Ah, Jesus. God wants to hear from us. And when God hears a sound, he'll release a sound.
Yes.
When God hears our prayer, then God will do what he needs to do. But we can't put the cart before the horse. Call upon me. That's number one. What did he say? And I'll answer you. And I'll show you great and mighty things that you know not of. But first, we got to go to God.
Yes.
Go back to God.
Yes.
Some of us need to do our first works over. Go back to God and get it right. We used to sing the song, Get Right with God. And do it now. Get right with God. He'll show you how. We have to get right with God, church. That's the only way we're going to make a difference in this world. We're not waiting on the government to do it. They're fighting within them own selves. We can't wait on geopolitical power. We can't wait for another organization. But it's in the church of God, where change begins in the world. We need to hear a sound again. Touch somebody and say, are you hearing the sound? Stand to your feet this morning. I hear the sound of victory. And whatever you're facing today, I just stop by here to encourage you and tell you whatever you're going through, God hasn't forgotten about you. God has not abandoned you. But just like that cup, he had to leave it for some days. He was still in the storm, but the cup didn't know it. God is still very nigh and he's very near you, even though you may not see it and you may not feel it. God cares for you. He bankrupted heaven with his own son just to make sure that you would see you with him in heaven one day. He cares for you. You are dearly beloved to God. And because of that, he wants you to be in good health and prosper even as your soul prospers. He wants to make sure that you are all right in every aspect of your life. God don't want you to be sanctified and broken. God don't want you to have a good job and unhappy and depressed. God wants to heal you everywhere you hurt. And so today, you may be in this place, I don't hear, I don't see, I don't feel nothing. All I see are the situations that are around me. All I see are the problems that are ever before me. If that is you today, come to the altar. I'm not here to do anything. Come to the altar. The altar is where surgery happens. So if there's something that's blocking your hearing, let God remove it today. Let God move that mountain for you. I just need somebody to pray with me. I see somebody that's touching with me. Come to the altar. Don't be scared. People have demonized the altar. The altar is the best place for you to come. Saved or not, sane or not, the altar is the best place to be. Because it's where change takes place. I am the Hallelujah.